There we are, Mr. Adrian Smith. How are you? Welcome to Radio Futuro in Chile.
All right. Nice to be here.
How are you doing?
Yeah, all right. All right. Thanks. Yeah, I'm in the UK.
Good. Well, we are here to talk about the new album of the Smith Kotzen project with you, Adrian Smith, and Ritchie Kotzen. So, first of all, how do you feel about this new material?
Yeah, we started working on this at the follow up to the first album. Started working early 2023. I think we completed 6 songs. Richie went off on tour, and I went off on tour with Maiden, and we came back the next year. I wrote another 6 songs, and there we have it. Black Light, White Noise.
That's right. Well, it's amazing to have a new album. I remember when the first album was released, and so people thought, oh, well, just another project of two famous guys, very busy guys. So there will never be another one. And here we are, a second album, new music, new ideas.
Yeah,
I listened to it and it sounds very good, sounds very fresh. How difficult it was to make the album because of this, of what I'm talking about. Two very busy guys with a lot of work, but you got the time to got together again and make art together.
yeah. I mean, the process was the same as the last album. I mean, on the first album, I just took my guitar around to Ritchie's studio, and I live part time in Los Angeles. Uh, just me and him in the studio, no producer, no engineers, nobody. We just sit down, get the guitars out, and we start just passing ideas back and forth. And I think the first song we ever wrote together was a song called Running on the first album. And then on the same day, we wrote a song called Scars. So we were like very prolific straight away. And that's it continued on this album. Ritchie had a song called Muddy Water, which was 90% complete. I helped him finish it off with lyrics and stuff. And that was the first song we had for Black Light, White Noise. And I thought, well, that's a really strong song. And so every song is going to have to be that good. So that set the standard for the rest of the album. So, it's fun to work with Ritchie. He's a good partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. The first album was good, but this one sounds more like a band.
Yeah.
You know better. You know each other better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think any relationship, any working relationship, you get better at what you do, and I think this album's a little bit more up, a bit more rocky, maybe a little bit more consistent. I mean, I love the first album, but I think this album is. I'm really pleased with this album, this new one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Since the first album, it was a surprise for many people to hear you play this kind of music because, well, everyone knows you're working in Iron Maiden, in classic heavy metal, but this project shows us a side more near to classic rock, to some different feeling. It's good to explore in that side of your work. Uh, I mean, it's something that it has been always with you, but not many people knew about it.
Well, I grew up listening to that kind of music in Britain, in the UK, in the 70s. You had Humble Pie, Bad Company, Free, Thin Lizzy, all these bands. It was classic rock. I suppose some people will call it metal later on. It sort of became metal, got a little bit more extreme. But that's the roots of it. And the roots of that were in blues music, which I also love. I think the blues kind of thing is timeless. It's a kind of music where you can tell a story, and a blues riff is a classic to me. It never goes out of fashion. So that's my inspiration. But at the same time, you've got to take the genre and do something different with it. So I would describe what we do as, it's sort of classic rock. You take a dirty bluesy riff, you make it into a song, with a chorus and a melody. A melody is timeless. A melody is a melody. A good melody is a good melody, you know. So that's what we try and do. That's our blueprint. You know, we take inspiration from the 70s music, but try and make it our own. And you know, plus the two of us are singing and playing guitar, which makes it different, a different interpretation of it.
Yeah, good. Well, you know, in these times where rock music is not the most popular music genre, maybe it's good to look back and recover the old spirit, you know, the blues, the classic rock.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think this music is popular still. You know, just because it's not on the mainstream. You know, I mean, you can't compete with Taylor Swift and all these. They're just like mega. Phenomenons. You know, but I mean, I travel the world playing with Maiden, and I know this music rock music is thriving really, because it's good. It stands the test of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Maybe in your career you have met a lot of different guitar players, and in your conversations, maybe you said a lot of times, "Hey, let's do something together. Let's play together." You say, "Yeah." Someday.
Yeah.
But with Ritchie, you finally did it. Why with Ritchie did it work?
Yeah. You do. You know, you meet people and you have a couple of drinks and you go, "Oh yeah, we got to work together and we got to do this, we got to do that." But I have done a fair bit of work outside the band. You know, I've done a couple of solo albums, and I like being creative. I like the process of writing songs and recording them, and even going out and playing them live. It makes me tick. You know, it's my sort of lifeblood. I'm happiest when I'm doing it. You know. So if I've got a bit of downtime, I'm always looking for something to do. And teaming up with Ritchie was great. You know, it's someone I could bounce ideas off and write songs with. You know, and I've sat down with some quite well-known people, and sometimes it just doesn't work, and you're just sat there looking at each other, and there's no chemistry. You know, but when you got that chemistry, you got to make the most of it.
Yeah, well, you know, as a guitarist, as a musician, you never stop learning. You learn something from each musician that you meet on the way. What have you learned from Ritchie Kotzen? He's a very talented guy, so I guess there must be a lot to learn from him.
Well, guitar-wise, I mean, I don't know what he does. I mean, what he does to me is voodoo. You know, I could never copy what he does. He's got his own special style. But I think his attention to detail with lyrics has taught me that you've got to concentrate on lyrics more. You know, my personal writing. We spend a lot of time on lyrics. We sit down 3-4 hours and we just back and forth with because that's the hardest thing, I think, with writing songs is good lyrics. I mean, anyone can write okay lyrics, but having lyrics that sound good and mean something are difficult to do. So we spend a lot of time on that. And whereas I in the past would have maybe stopped at some point, Ritchie takes it further and says, "No, this is not good enough. We got to make this make sense." You know, so that's something I've learned of him about writing lyrics. You know.
Good. Yeah. Well, must be very exciting to work with people that make you explore new things, that challenge yourself to new things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta have someone work with someone who pushes you a bit as well. You know, and he's an excellent musician, so I feel like I got to sort of keep up with him. You know, but at the same time, he complements what I do. He knows what to play. We know what to play to make each other, comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Great. Do you have any favorite songs from this new album?
Yeah, I mean, I like all the songs, but there's a song called Dark Side, which I was really happy with. It's about somebody who's down on their luck and it needs a helping hand. I mean, who hasn't been in that sort of situation, And it's actually, the lyrics are dark. So I'm on the dark side of the street, help me into the light, I'm on the outside looking in, all that sort of stuff. It's a kind of a ballady one, But I was very proud of that one. Another song called Blindsided, which is just a good old stomping, heavy rock song, you know. But I like it all, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Here in Chile, we all love to see you playing live. We have seen you with Iron Maiden many times. What are the chances to Smith Kotzen to come to South America and make some live shows?
Well, I'd love to come to South America. I think it's the audiences are fantastic, you know. It's just logistics. We're looking at the beginning of 2026, the first quarter. So hopefully I'd love to come down to, I mean, Santiago, and you know, our touring band has two Brazilian musicians as well, Julia Lage and Bruno Valverde, who plays with Angra as sometimes, and so you know, I think it would be just amazing to be down there, you know, to play music down there. Would love to, but I don't know when.
Okay, so we will expect to see you live with Smith Kotzen or even with Iron Maiden. I guess that the next Maiden tour will come here too, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I don't know for sure. Not the next one, no, but maybe the one after.
Okay, we'll wait for all of that. Well, Adrian, that's all for us right now. Thank you very much for your time. And congratulations for the new album. We will hear it a lot. And the last thing, can you make an ID for a radio station? It's called Radio Futuro, and make an invitation for the people to listen to the new material.
Okay. Hi, this is Adrian Smith, and you're listening to Radio Futuro.
That's it. And can you say something like, listen to the new Smith Kotzen album or something like that? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, this is Adrian Smith, and you're listening to the new Smith Kotzen album, Black Light, White Noise.
Perfect. That's it. Thank you very much, Adrian. It was a pleasure as always. And
okay.
We hope to see you soon in Chile, okay?
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Adios.
Adios.